teams that are going to go for glory, then we'll move on to the next topic, is the Scottish League Cup semi-finals. So on Saturday night, Motherwell, who were probably slight favourites going into this one, were battered 4-1 in the semi-final by St Mirren. We're going to briefly move on to the Sunday night one, the big one, which was the old firm between Celtic and Rangers in that competition, and we all know what happened, what we expected to happen, which was Celtic coming out on top, 3-1 winners against Rangers. A Rangers team that went down to 10 men, and well, there could have been more red cards in this one. I don't know if any of you two watched this game, but obviously
I've
in the
only
week.
managed to see a few things, a few controversial points, the red card, the penalty, and so on. But I can't say that I grabbed the game. That doesn't sound
But early on in the week, obviously, the game happened after Brendan Rodgers, who we'd spoke about on last week's episode briefly about how self-centered he is and how long had he got left. Well, literally 24 hours later, he handed in his notice and was out the door. And Martin O'Neill, it was like it was the year
Who'd have thought?
2005.
Yeah.
He come in with Sean Maloney as his number two. A couple of weeks after Rangers had appointed Danny Rowell as their
Yeah.
manager. So it was the battle between the two managers with Celtic coming out on top. So yeah, what's your thoughts on this one? Do you think Celtic are going to get the another piece of silverware in their cabinet yet again, or
Well, this is the thing. I mean, who's going to be the manager come the final? I mean, we don't
Well,
know,
it
do
might
we?
be Martin O'Neill. You
I'd
know,
love it. I hope it is.
I just want the whole thing to be lined up. You know, last time St Mirren beat Celtic was when a certain Ange Postecoglou was manager. So I'm just praying for the, the football gods to align again, and we get an Ange final with St Mirren just going, yeah, F it, we're going for it. A bit more of a different
favourite.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, it's supposed to be Martin O'Neill. In the meantime, I don't know when the agreement was until the end of the season. I think, is that right?
Well, like he even Martin O'Neill's press conference when they unveiled him last week, he pretty much said, "I could be gone at the end of this week." So he doesn't know, does he? I don't think
he was on TalkSport just the morning before being announced, and he was saying that Hearts winning the league would be good for the Scottish League. 10 hours later, he's Celtic manager or the interim manager, and I think he's got Sean Maloney as his assistant there as well. So
just need Henrik Larsson in now.
Yeah, you know, Sean Maloney is basically the Scottish Henrik Larsson. It's the same sort of thing. We obviously expect Celtic to do it. You know, if Celtic don't win one single trophy this season, it'll be a disaster. So the Scottish League Cup, maybe they will win that. Maybe the Scottish, who knows? Maybe they will come back and catch up with Hearts. It's quite likely, but
especially
you put them as favourites against St Mirren. You know, St Mirren are still struggling a little bit in the league. I mean, it's been just standard. What can I say? I expect Celtic to win.
I watched bits of the game. I wasn't able to watch all of it, but Rangers are shit. Like I watched some of it, and I just thought, is this Russell Martin or is this before him? I don't know. Like
the effects stay for a while. I mean, Will Still can show us that Russell Martin is not easy to rub off.
No.
Once Martin touches you.
Yeah. You don't become gold, you become lower than bronze, whatever that is. But it's but no, I do.
Good one, Jamie.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the support.
Yes.
But no, I watched bits of it and I just thought Rangers aren't great. This is just not a good team. James Tavernier being the man to score again. It's like, from the penalty spot. That's all he ever bloody does most of the time.
No, I was a bit. So this caused a bit of controversy, the penalty call. And I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I'm sorry, that's a penalty. I don't want anyone telling me it's not a penalty. You know, everyone's saying he has his arm tucked. Is this the handball one?
Yeah, because he's diving down.
He's diving down. His elbow is sticking out and he dives on top of it. You can't tell me, he's tucked in his hand. No, he's obstructing the ball from going in. And it's as intentional as it can be with trying to hide it on a little technicality of tucking your arm in. It's a penalty. So I don't want anyone to go on about it. And you know, the many calls that the referee got a few shockers in the game, but then the red card as well. I didn't get to see a replay of it, but that looked like a red card as well. So to
it
me,
was a red.
main decisions were correct.
I think I will say though, that Celtic player might have been in the army at one point because it looked like a classic scenario of if a grenade is in the middle of you, like one of you has to jump in front of it. And I think he got used to that. So he probably thought, right, back in my army training, you jump on it. Oh shit, hit my hand.
Heroic from him, absolutely heroic. But yeah, it is that. It's, he jumped onto it and his arm got in the way. I don't care what anyone says. If you say that's not a penalty, you are just looking to disagree with referees to call them incompetent. That is it. That's my big take on it. And that's the big problem with football nowadays, where we just want to find something incorrect to say referees are incompetent. And that's a big one. The calls that I saw, maybe someone can tell me some other ones in the game that he got wrong. It can happen. But the two big ones, I'm sorry, you got those right.
I do find it funny. Oh, go on, Joe.
Sorry, I think the one that he got wrong was Trusty. I think it was Trusty who kicked Jack Butland in the face when Jack Butland was on the ball. I think that's the only one he's got maybe he's got wrong. That should have been a red card because it's the endangerment and the ball had long gone. Yeah, he had no chance of getting any. He's just gone in and just stood, on Butland's face. He got a yellow card. VAR checked it and apparently said that yellow card was the right call. But for me, it's wrong because it's endangering the opponent, especially when he's gone, in for his head. But I think other than that, I think the red card for Rangers was spot on as well. And I'll tell you what, Callum McGregor, Celtic's captain, is the man for the bigger occasion.
What a goal that was.
Oh, absolutely stunning. I know Butland didn't cover himself in glory, but he was, I think he had his sights blocked a little bit by defenders. But it's power. It's the sheer power and swerve on the ball that beats him.
But I think we need to, I don't know, I get to a point where I watch so many games and it's always the co-commentator who's an ex-footballer of some team who like always says, "Oh, that shouldn't have gone in." And I'm just like, "Could we just celebrate a goal?" I like when someone scores, and it was a great goal. I mean, I know Butland could have kept it out, but a shot outside the box, we never see it anymore. We want more of them. And that goalkeeper, Jack Butland, probably went, "Holy shit, what do you do with these long-range shots? I can't remember. It's been so long. All I do is tap the ball to my defender. I don't even kick it long anymore." But yeah, that's just my little rant right there.
That's more like anti-modern football rather than anything else.
Yes, it is.
No more shots outside the box anymore. People playing against Arsenal, take note. Just get a shot in. I don't know.
Yeah, Amad Diallo did it against Forest the other night. It was great.
Yep, that little volley on the edge of the box. Volley. I kind of underplayed that, didn't I?
Yeah. Any volley is should never be belittled anymore.
Sneaky little tiny powerless volley. Yes.
No one saw it till it hit the net. But yeah, no, but to see Martin O'Neill there in his Adidas tracksuit and in his mid-70s, I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. But I don't know. I don't know what Martin O'Neill's going to do. I don't know how long he's going to be there, but I'm for it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with Martin O'Neill because I've only heard comments of him lately saying all this nonsense about XG and so on and so forth. And him saying, you can guarantee if Pep's going in the change room at halftime saying we had this much XG. And it's like, Martin, I think you're a bit out of touch with the game. He is in his 70s and hasn't managed since, anyone remember?
It was at Aston Villa?
No,
Ireland. Ireland, was it?
Nah, he had a brief stint with Nottingham Forest in 2019.
With Roy Keane, I remember this. Yeah,
brief. But then it was Ireland before then, the Republic of Ireland, may I say.
Yeah.
So, I'd like for him to just chill out a little bit and just enjoy retirement.
He's here to he's here to steady the ship. I think it's just to try and get certain things back to basics, I reckon.
If you were on a ship and someone got out the 71-year-old captain and said, "I'm here to steady the ship," what would you think, Jamie? Come on.
I'd like to think, well, he must have had a good pension.
And then then he gets to the steering. He's like, "Oh my God, is this electrical steering now?" He's like, "Dude, you're supposed to steady this thing." Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit for the metaphor, but I still think it stands a little.
Well, at least I can.
At least I could go up to him and say to him, at least you watch football when they shot outside the box. I miss those days, mate.
Redefining football. Sorry, Joe.
It's all right. I was going to say, funny enough, you talk about how long he's going to be in the job for. Whilst you were discussing that, I managed to get up some odds on who could be the next Celtic manager. So Martin O'Neill is the current favourite, 5-2, but I just feel like that's
Martin
because he's.
O'Neill, really?
I just feel like that's because he's caretaker at the
Yeah, but
moment.
it's going to be
Started
like
off well.
it's going to be like the Igor Tudor situation, which we'll
Yeah.
get onto afterwards, and I'll explain why. But yes, go for it, Joe.
The Tudor times.
Kieran McKenna, 5-1, second favourite. Will he leave it? Which I don't know. Ange Postecoglou, 13-2. Robbie Keane, the childhood, Liverpool, Tottenham, Wolves, Inter
Robbie
Milan,
Keane.
Villa, you forgot Villa.
Celtic, Villa, West Ham. Can't remember the
I
other
met him.
teams.
I met him at a bar in Doha. He was a lovely man.
8-1. Lee Cardley, 8-1, and Kjetil Knutsen is 9-1. So they're your 5 odds at the moment.
Not Michael Carrick.
No, Michael Carrick is not on there, but he was early on in the week high up the rankings for the next Celtic manager job.
Well,
So yeah,
Neil Warnock will be up there somewhere.
Get him off the tractor. You know, he needs to be back in management.
he did the job at Aberdeen a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Yeah, for like 2 months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I think we all know he's going to get it, don't we? They're going to bring him back.
Yeah.
Mr. Ange, I reckon.
Well, if they're bringing back Martin O'Neill, they're going to bring back another. You know, it's not like it's outside the realms of possibility. One was more unlikely than the other, so they're going for the least likely one later on in the season.
I mean, it's funny. We're living in a world of cinema now where legacy sequels are happening at the moment, and the fact that we're seeing
Martin O'Neill come back to sorry, not Martin O'Neill, sorry, Gary O'Neill. It's the O'Neill revival.
You just beat me. You just beat me to it. I was going to say it. Like Gary O'Neill back to Wolves. It's happening again.
Have you guys not heard?
Hilarious.
You guys not heard? He's pulled out.
Oh, what? He's ruined it.
Let's just say it. Let's just say at the time of recording we didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Joe
did. You could have told us, Joe. For God's sake.
We've embarrassed ourselves, Joe. Good God.
Goodness, it was only about an hour ago, to be fair, lads. So I'll let you off.
Well, to be honest, who wants the Wolves job right now?
Probably Brendan Rodgers.
No, he wouldn't want.
No, Brendan. I think Brendan wants to. I think he wants to go back to Swansea more than Wolves, probably. But anyway.
No, I think he'd probably he'd still think that he's good enough for the Liverpool job, but that's a different issue for another day.
He doesn't like football. He just found himself okay at Salford.
It's because he's not got wee Joe Allen. That's what it is.
Yeah. The Welsh.
Yeah, the downfall of Brendan Rodgers can be directly correlated to his lack of interaction with Joe Allen. It's all there.
It's all 100%. On the script.
100%. And Colo Torre.
What do you think, Stanners? Do you think Ange will get the job?
Looks most likely, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah. He won the trophy at Spurs, didn't he? And then got the sack. Oh, Big Russ. You can never rule out Big Russ, can you? But,
I love if that happened somehow.
But no, again, he actually did good there. That would somewhat Rangers, wouldn't it? If he went to Celtic.
Well, it'd be the biggest betrayal since Carling. Because Carling sponsored Rangers and Celtic shirts at the same time. That would be hilarious.
I remember that, yeah.
That's when kids could wear beers on their shirts. Those were the days.
Wasn't there another sponsor years later that did it around the time that Rangers...
Tenants, was it?
Yeah, it might have been. Around the time that Rangers went into their financial issues. I think it might have been them as well, Tenants, yeah. But
anyway, we digress.
I think Ange is probably... with what's it called? I think Ange's the most likely when. Sorry, it's just said that I had a notification at the corner saying OBS was having trouble. So if anyone is watching, I do apologise if you've lost audio and footage, but we are back. I think Ange is the most likely one. I think out of there, I can't really see anyone else. He will want to get his reputation back quite quickly, and I think Celtic's an easy way to do it after the whole Nottingham Forest debacle.
Yeah. And he's got nowhere to go. Let's be perfectly frank now. Ange's got nowhere to go unless he's going to go back to Australia or
South Melbourne.
I'm exaggerating a little bit. You know, there might be a Bodo glimpse that comes up if Knutsen does take the Celtic job in the end. So, you know, there's open up possibilities, but I just don't see it happening. So this is the safe bet for Ange. This is the one that cannot fail.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just
oh no. So what I was going to say. What are you going to say, Seb? Go on.
It's just a comment from Jamie on the live stream saying, reckon Gennaro Gattuso will get the Wolves job. Jamie, he's Italy boss, so, you know, come on.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, keep up.
Yeah, no one wants the Italy job. You can't make World Cups anymore.
Well, no, anyway. He is the boss for Italy. You know, keep up, Jamie Burgoyne.
Yeah, no, but But who wants an Italy job when you're not going to make the World Cup? So what's the point? You know,
Well, it's because of him that they're not making the World Cup. But
well, yeah. But is this the problem though with Scottish football, where a Celtic job is like not in my eyes? I don't think when like Brendan Rodgers has gone back there, he's done a good spell again, I guess. But yeah, how can you have a bad spell? A bad spell at Celtic is still winning only one trophy less than previous season, I guess. You know, it just feels like for someone like Ange, for someone like Brendan Rodgers, even Martin O'Neill, after so many years of no management, it's kind of like, is this job just easy? It's a nice wage, manage a big club in Scotland, you get a bit of European, you get a European trip under your belt maybe, and that's it. It just feels, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain management roles in certain countries and leagues where I just feel like if you've been there before, it's just an easy job. But again, that's just
Yeah,
my thoughts.
I'm
I
wondering
feel
how big the money is because,
Yeah, I'd
you
love to
know,
know how
it's.
much the wages are.
I mean, I've just tried looking up, and Brendan Rodgers' salary at Celtic before leaving was £2.3 million a year. It's a bit similar to Vitor Pereira at Wolves, which is probably. I'm
Okay.
just going to take a guess. That's probably the team that pays the lowest wage in the
Yeah.
league, or amongst one of the lowest wages in the Premier League. So we can start having a bit of a conversation of the disparity in financial power.
Mm.
Is it really that interesting? Yeah, it's a nice salary. No one of us are turning down £2.3 million a year. Let it be said.
Depends. If I'm not allowed to watch Simpsons episodes, we'll have to reconsider.
Anyway, I'm just saying they've got to start showing ambition, and we talked about this last week about them potentially losing going further down in the rankings in the UEFA coefficient, and if they do that, Scotland, that is, there will be big issues in Scottish football.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's the real problem in terms of European football's huge for Scotland in terms of, the league trying to get some. I mean, Rangers win the Europa League final, what, 3, 4 years ago? Which maybe for some people that could have been a turning point, but that just hasn't happened. But I do feel as though when you look at the wages, as Seb has brilliantly pointed out, in terms of, it's nearly as low as a Wolves job right now. That says it all. Brendan Rodgers left Celtic for Leicester, let's not forget. And there was this big uproar from Celtic fans thinking, why would you leave Celtic for Leicester? Well, because, sorry, mate, a mid-table team in the Premier League can pay a better wage. And quite frankly, the opportunity is bigger.
yeah.
I mean, I've just done a quick Google search and I've tried finding what Brendan Rodgers' salary was at Leicester,
Yeah.
and reportedly it was $8 million a year.
Oh, there you go.
So this is a different stage. When Leicester hired him, they were trying to look up a little bit. It's not the
Still.
same as the relegated Leicester that we see now, but still, exactly. Still.
Yeah, but what a
that will lure
challenge,
you away. And yes, maybe
And he
it's
won the
bad
FA
to
Cup with them, didn't he? I think
It's
if I
not a
can
great.
remember rightly.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a great thing to compare to the might of the Premier League. That's the biggest
But
power
whether
financially in the
but
world.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. No, I think you're right in terms of the scale of the TV rights deal and all that between Scotland and England's very different. But yeah, I just fear for. I like Scottish football. I care about pretty much every league in football. So I'd like to think that a Celtic job is not just a cushy, comfortable job. I'd like to wish that whoever gets it is an up, it is a step up, but feels like it isn't.
The thing I find interesting is I can't remember who the player was, but there was an ex-player the other day who claimed that within a couple of years, if Celtic and Rangers were in the Premier League, they'd be competing in the top half and be pushing for the title. With all due respect to Celtic and Rangers, I think if they're in the English system, they'd be top end of League One, bottom end of Championship at most, with all due
Yeah,
respect to them.
yeah. I think revenue would be good for them because of how big their stadiums are and they've got loyal supporters. But yeah, I don't think they'd be very competitive.
And I don't want this argument of they're too big to go down. We've heard that 20 times in the last
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We're seeing, we're seeing traditionalist clubs struggle in the football league. So, that doesn't mean Celtic and Rangers would be shielded from that.
and love him or hate him, Craig Bellamy said that in his book as well. He was on loan at Celtic for 6 months. I think it was
I didn't even,
2003, 2004.
I didn't even know he played at Celtic.
Yeah, and he won a few trophies with them. And he even said that he thinks they'd be League One at best. I remember him saying
Yeah.
that in his book a few years back.
Well, Joe Hart. I mean, like Joe Hart went there because his options were limited. Pep didn't want him at City. All of a sudden, with it overnight, his legacy at City had gone. He wasn't the number one England goalkeeper anymore. Where did he go? He went to Celtic again. Good opportunity still, but
he went to Torino, West Ham, Burnley in between, and I think he went to Tottenham as well.
Yeah, he did. Third choice goalkeeper.
Actually, yeah, he did. Good point.
So
but
he really dabbled his feet in the Premier League pool before realizing I'll be first choice at Celtic.
Yeah, but then Kasper Schmeichel, as well from, was it Leicester straight? No, he went to France, didn't he? And then he went to Celtic, I think.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's even goalkeepers that are getting on and stuff. It's just a. I mean, look at Jack Butland. Jack Butland sadly didn't hit the heights that some hoped for when he was at Stoke City, but this is where we are.
With Joe Hart, if you want to score past him, go low to his left because he after an injury he wasn't able to spring that way anymore. Just so you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're ever in a charity match against Joe Hart, low to his left, you score.
Yeah, but then I'm going to have this problem of perspective. Like, my left is your right is my left. I've overthought this and I've lost the ball.
Pick a side. Yeah, pick a side.
Pick a side and go for
Just
it.
pick a side and go for it.